This video is made by Ajit Kumar Nair, rehabilitation professional, counseling psychologist, clinical hypnotherapist from Nair's Epigenetic Wellness, Indore. We are all familiar with our outward-facing senses, like sight and sound, and we rely on proprioception to know where our limbs are in space. But there is a third, mostly invisible system running constantly in the background, anchoring our human experience: interoception. Interoception is the body's ability to sense and interpret internal signals. It is the mechanism that tells you when your stomach is empty, when your throat is dry, when you are touching something too hot, or when your heart rate is accelerating. For neurotypical people, processing these internal updates happens automatically. But for individuals on the autism spectrum, the physical wiring of this internal monitoring network functions entirely differently. Interoception is the bedrock of self-awareness and emotional regulation. When these internal signals are consistently delayed or misidentified, an individual loses their most basic biological compass for navigating the demands of the day. In the autistic brain, we often see atypical connectivity within the insula, the region responsible for processing sensory information. These fragmented connections, combined with variations in gray matter density, change how internal signals are integrated. The vagus nerve serves as the primary conduit for this information. It gathers constant data from the cardiovascular, respiratory, and gastrointestinal systems and transmits it upward for the brain to monitor. In many autistic individuals, altered vagal tone and slower processing speeds cause this transmission to falter. An urgent signal, like a gastrointestinal flare, often arrives at the insula scrambled or significantly delayed. These structural variations are hardwired during crucial prenatal developmental windows, the result of a specific interplay between genetic predisposition and environmental factors. This means interoceptive challenges are not psychological choices or behavioral flaws. They are the direct output of a distinct neurobiological architecture. The physical result is often hypointeroception. A person may not feel the sensation of hunger until their body is completely depleted, or they might fail to register pain and temperature extremes until they become a medical emergency. This chart maps the emotional cost. A neurotypical person receives early warning signals as stress builds. For an autistic individual, the internal reading remains flat because early signals are missed, until it spikes violently into the crisis zone, often before they even realize they are upset. This is frequently compounded by alexithymia, where a person lacks the vocabulary for their internal emotional states. Without being able to name what they are feeling, the individual cannot deploy proactive coping strategies. To survive in a neurotypical world, many autistic people develop deliberate masking strategies. They study and mirror others to hide the fact that they are missing these internal cues. This creates massive cognitive load. Forcing the brain to manually calculate physical and social responses that should be automatic puts the system under extreme friction. Successfully navigating a day this way consumes immense mental energy. This invisible, exhausting effort is what eventually leads to severe sensory depletion and burnout. This internal struggle is often misunderstood in classrooms. A student might need a bathroom break or hydration, but cannot interpret the signal. When they act out, educators frequently misinterpret that unmet biological need as willful defiance. As unrecognized physical discomfort accumulates, it eventually breaches the student's coping threshold. The result is a sudden behavioral change that seems unprovoked to those who cannot feel the internal buildup. In adulthood, these challenges can destabilize professional lives. A person might withdraw from social events because they cannot self-regulate in overstimulating environments, or they may overcommit at work because their brain fails to register the body's exhaustion cues. This intersection with mental health is dangerous. Interoceptive challenges can amplify health anxiety, while simultaneously masking the physical indicators of depression or eating disorders. Society often punishes autistic individuals for their behavior, failing to realize it is penalizing people for missing biological signals they literally cannot feel. The first step toward support is accurate clinical assessment. Differentiating interoceptive dysfunction from overlapping conditions like ADHD or generalized anxiety is essential for creating an effective support plan. Interoceptive awareness training offers a foundational intervention, By using systematic body scanning and mindfulness, individuals can slowly build a conscious connection between their brain and their physical state. Occupational therapists use biofeedback tools to provide external validation of these internal processes. Seeing a racing heart represented on a digital monitor helps the individual recognize and understand what that physiological sensation actually means. Family and school support are critical. Educating teachers and medical providers ensures that the autistic person's needs are met with accommodations rather than punishment, while caregivers must access resources to prevent their own burnout. While we cannot change the underlying neurobiology, targeted therapies and environmental modifications provide the stability needed to prevent crisis escalation. When an environment accounts for these interoceptive needs, it eliminates a persistent, invisible drain on the individual's mental reserves. With the internal alarm system finally quieted, those cognitive resources move to the forefront. The energy previously exhausted by manually calculating heart rate or stress levels is finally available for deep concentration. This shift allows the autistic brain to apply its natural affinity for complex systems and intricate patterns to its chosen field of interest. This mental clarity facilitates an unmatched attention to detail. It enables the individual to notice subtle patterns and microscopic variables others frequently overlook, turning their cognitive precision into a primary professional and creative asset. Supporting interoceptive health ensures that internal sensory gaps no longer define the limit of a person's achievements. It provides the physical and emotional stability required for an individual to consistently apply their innate talents to the world around them.